So team, before I begin, we had the training from RCN Capital using the hard money loan. We had the training last September-ish about the FHA 203K, but Plaza coming in offering all at the same time, FHA, VA, USDA, and conventional construction loan. On top of it, plugging in with RCN's construction loan, we can finance up to 110% on every single product, okay? So watch carefully. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out to one of us and we will respond as time allows. Thank you.
Much for joining us today. This session is titled Plaza Makes Renovation Loans as Simple as 1, 2, 3. Please take a moment to review our legal disclaimer. This webinar is meant for instructional purposes and is not intended to be legal advice. If you would like additional information, including full program guidelines, please visit our website. Your presenter today is Reagan Cunningham, VP of Plaza's National Renovation Lending Division. Reagan's been with Plaza for over 18 years and has extensive background in our renovation products, as well as the construction industry. Reagan has a real passion for renovation loans and how they can help your borrowers get the dream home they always wanted. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to you, Reagan.
Awesome. Thank you, Annette. And thank you so much to everyone for attending today. We appreciate your interest and your time. Let's see if we can help you with a little bit more renovation knowledge. For those of you that have never done a renovation loan before, don't be scared. We'll do kind of a high level what a renovation loan is, what makes them unique. We'll talk about some of the process that we've made very easy for you. The contractors portion in these, what putting together a bid looks like, what happens after these close, how the process flows. Us as a very experienced renovation partner, and some frequently asked questions that we bump into, and we have built a wealth of resources to help you be successful in renovation lending. So a renovation loan, for those of you that have never done one before, it basically takes the purchase price or the refi price, whatever you need to do in repairs, and then everything is based on what that home is going to be worth after the renovation. So that's where we get the additional dollars to be able to fund those repairs. It is a single close solution, so you're only doing one. You're not going behind and putting a HELOC. We have made the process extremely streamlined and simple. We have an entire team that will hold your hand throughout the process. And this gives your borrowers the ability to maximize what that home is going to be worth and not just the value as is. So this is our #1 most frequently printed flyer at Plaza, and I really like it. I see a lot of originators take this, print this, and hide it under their desk calendars because it's a good resource to answer some really quick, basic questions. We have almost every single renovation loan out in the marketplace. So if we have a tough loan scenario, if it doesn't fit in one product, we can always find typically, I don't want to say always, we never say always in lending, right? We can find a solution to help your borrowers. There is the good old 203Ks. Believe it or not, the 203Ks have been around since the 70s, and they're great for our first-time home buyers, borrowers that just are FHA borrowers. We have our conventional home product, HomeStyle, which you can do almost any kind of renovation, luxury homes, shops, put in pools. And then we have USDA, which is really exciting to have. Not a lot of people are even aware that USDA offers a renovation product, and that is at 100% financing, as well as VA Reno, which is also available with 100% financing. So I have said this, I have been renovation lending for many, many years, and I know that the bad reputation of renovation lending still hangs out there as a cloud. A lot of real estate agents think that they're only for HUD REOs or foreclosures or cash only listings. And while we can take those on, what we're doing is giving the borrower an ability to look at a wider variety of homes. Maybe they look at a home that's not quite what they want it to be, but we can make it into what they want it to be. So everything that you know about regular lending for FHA, USDA, VA, conventional, all the credit practices are the same. So you're already 99% of the way there. There's only three things, the big three, that turn it into a renovation loan. And that is filling out some additional forms, getting your contractor accepted, and getting a bid. And we have processes for all of those. What we've done is we've created what we call one tax, and out of everything and all the resources that we built, we get the most compliments on this. And what it is, it's very one click and you're ready to go. It has absolutely everything that you need for that renovation loan. It has a very, very comprehensive checklist, and you'll see that the checklist is broken out into those big three. It gives you all the fees that you will potentially run into with a renovation loan, whether it's a required fee or it's a fee that is attached to the type of repairs that you are doing. It has all the forms you need for both yourself and the renovation contractor. So choosing a contractor is really in the borrower's hands. The borrowers are the ones that are responsible for choosing the contractor. And a frequent question they get is, how do we find a contractor? You would be surprised how many real estate agents have a great resource of contractors available for them. So ask for the referrals from your friends, from your church group, from the soccer group, from your real estate agent. I've stolen contractors from neighbors before. So look around and you'll find some good contractor. Now you might ask those people referring, why did you like them? What made it a positive experience? How did the contractor handle rough situations? If you can't find any referrals, Home Advisor is a phenomenal source for contractor referrals. I've used it myself multiple times with great success. It's great to look at the National Association of the Remodel Industry. They have contractors listed as well. We always recommend that you look at the credentials, because we are going to also look at the credentials to accept that contractor for the job. Are they licensed? Are they bonded? Are they insured? Does the contractor have additional certifications, like they've participated in a remodeling board, or they're lead-based paint certified, or they are home energy certified? Great to ask those questions. Interview them. Has the contractor performed similar work to the work that's going to be happen? And do they have before and after pictures? Do they have a website? It's important that the contractor has performed the type of work that they're going to perform. Now, we don't want a contractor that does concrete work all of a sudden testing his hand at a kitchen remodel, or a contractor, which we have run into, that's only done $50,000 jobs, and all of a sudden he or she thinks they can take on $150,000 or $200,000 job. We are going to look for referrals that are similar in nature to what they're trying to take on with this project. And verify those references. We will be verifying the references well. Did they come in on budget? Was the homeowner pleased with the outcome? Just having the ability to communicate with the contractor is incredibly important. Are they responsive? Do they call back right away? For accepting a contractor for the project, like I mentioned, the borrower will select them and then we will accept them. We will look for that license, bond, insurance. We'll look at their bid. We'll make sure that they're following state and local issuing authority. We will reserve the right to pull a background check on the contractor. Contractors may be required to, depending on the size of the job, provide financial ability because they're going to have to start that job typically without money. So we need to know that they have a line of credit or resources to be able to support the job until the next draw. We do typically only allow one general contractor that uses subs for the work. So we have also built a welcome pack for the contractors. So you're not explaining everything to the contractor every single time. There's a beautiful welcome letter that explains to the contractor their role in a renovation loan, what they'll need to provide, how they'll get paid, because, you know, that's really important to them. And it also includes on autofill document the forms that they'll need to fill out. Their references, how to put an agency approved bid together, we have on a template. So they literally only have to go through and fill out the boxes, providing us a W-9. So they'll know upfront what their role is in the project. This is just a closer look at that profile and reference form and the details that we will need from them. Like I said, we're really looking to see that they have experience. They have experience with this type of work. They have people that would refer them, and potentially that they would have the financial ability to take on the job they're looking to take on. So Plaza will do the work to vet those contractors. We do verify their license, bond, and insurance. We will call all the references and look that they're recent within the last 12 to 18 months. And we will verify assets. We won't, you know, call and ask their bank how much money they have, but we will look to see that they have credit or a savings account available. Contractors are paid on a draw basis. So on our limited products, they will get 50% upfront and then 50% once the work is completed. On projects that are, you know, $75,000 and up, we will pay them on a draw basis, meaning they'll do a portion of work, they'll submit a draw, we'll inspect that work, and then they'll get paid. They'll do another one and another one until the work is completed. They can have up to 5 draws. We do not pay on work that has yet to not be completed. The consultant on the project will provide an inspection at the time of each draw to show that the work has been completed. It's in a workmanlike manner, that the project is staying on time and on budget. We want your borrowers to have a very successful construction period. So you heard me mention consultant. Who is a HUD consultant? HUD consultants are fully vetted by HUD. They have 5 years or more of contracting and project management experience. They are an extensive background check is performed on them. They use HUD regulated software, and they basically perform what we would call a second opinion on the job. And we really like this, and HUD really likes it as well, because we want to make sure that the borrowers aren't taken advantage of in any way whatsoever. We want to make sure they're getting a good contractor, a fair deal, the work is done right, and it gets done on time. So we require those on HomeStyle, FHA, and USDA. They are optional, like I said, on our limited programs and on VA, because we do not go above 50,000 on VA. So you heard me mention a bid template, and one of the requirements is that lenders have specific agencies actually have specific requirements as to what that bid needs to look like. So instead of a constant hit and miss with contractors, we built a template years ago to make sure that the contractors get a spot on bid that's going to make your life and the process a lot easier. And basically the job is broken down into portions of work where that, is it the left side of the house, is the kitchen, is the master bathroom, dining room. So location of work, description of the work, and a materials cost and labor's cost. So that there's a document that can be printed multiple times in case it's a really big bid. They'll check the boxes, they'll sign off on it, and they will also provide a draw schedule to show us how many draws they're going to need. And we will look at that because we want to make sure that they have the ability to manage the project appropriately, and they're realistic in their payment schedules and realistic that it's going to get done on time. So this is just a sample of what a draw would look like. As you can see, it's not overly complicated. We're just looking for time and budget to be appropriately managed. So once you have gotten through the process of underwriting these loans, it will go to closing and the draw process. So we are super fortunate here at Plaza. We're one of the, I think the only wholesaler out there that has been doing it as long as we have, has the product array that we have, and we also own our own servicing department. They are actually Plaza Home Mortgage full-time employees that have an extensive history of managing and helping with renovation loans. So they are their own department. These are the phone number, email, contact information. Once the loan has closed, and a lot of originators question this, you get paid at closing like you would on any other loan. But think about it. If you have a $250,000 loan, you're doing $100,000 in repairs. You are actually now getting paid on a $350,000 loan. So it is worth your time to manage these and your, product offering to be able to offer a loan that not all originators can offer. So after closing, our draw management team will take over. They will reach out to your borrowers and have a welcome call. Make sure your borrowers understand the process, make sure that they get their welcome package, what their expectations are, and then answer absolutely any question or problem that they run into throughout the entire construction process. They will also be managing those draws. If you ever see a draw delay, draws, we have up to 5 business days to do a draw. If it is ever delayed, it is because the borrowers have not provided everything, and we will immediately let them know if they have not provided everything, and it goes back to the front of the line, not back to the back of the line. So we'll also make sure to find out whether they want a check or they want ACH payments, and to make sure that they're well taken care of throughout that end of the process. So there are 2 additional types of funds that are associated with a renovation loan. There is the contingency fund, which I lovingly call the oopsie or uh-oh fund. And basically what I mean by that is, oops, we didn't see this in the beginning. We didn't know that we were going to have this additional expense. So typically it is 10%. It can go all the way up to 20%. 10% is for a normal loan. 15% is for a loan that has power and water off. 20% we go to if it's really complicated. We're finishing up an unfinished construction. There's water damage, fire damage. The house has been vacant for a long time. There's extensive structural work. We will give them a nice padding to make sure that they have enough money to finish that project. I do want to tell you up front, we do get pushback on sometimes doing these contingency funds, but like I said, we have 16 years of experience with this, and I can tell you probably 95 to 98% of the time, we will tap those funds and we will use some of them or all of them. If they don't get used, they will go back to a principal reduction. It doesn't affect payment. If the borrower supplies those contingency funds and it doesn't get used, it goes back to the borrowers. The other type of fund that's associated with these is the holdback fund. And what that is, it's an actual agency requirement. It's not a Plaza overlay, that each time the contractor comes to us for a draw, in this example, they came to us for $1,000 draw. We will only pay out $900. And this is well explained to the contractors. That additional money will sit in the repair escrow until the last and final draw, and then they will be paid out in the entirety for the job. So each time that a draw comes in, the HUD consultant will perform an inspection. They will provide a draw request fund saying, hey, it's time that we want some money for this work that's been completed. The HUD consultant will do an inspection with pictures, and all that paperwork will be signed off, including a lien waiver from the contractor that says, yes, this work has been done and I'm ready to be paid on it. I'm not going to file a lien. And then we will have up to, like I said, 5 days to process that draw. And the borrowers can sign over to have an ACH paid directly to the contractor, or they can have a hard two-party check overnighted out. Photographs of to document that portion will be required. Now, the limited products work a little bit different. They get 50% of the labor and materials up front. Once the work is completed, the appraiser will perform a final inspection, and then the other 50% will be issued. So process flow. Annette and I jokingly and lovingly call this the chutes and ladder slide, but we really like it and our clients really like it because it really helps tie the whole process together. So the initial start would be your borrowers finding a property, and then you doing the initial disclosures. It's always a good idea to review the purchase contract because you're going to need access to that property for inspections, for the HUD consultant, for contractors. And it's always a great idea to get a home inspection right away up front, because then the borrowers have a punch list of what that home exactly needs. And then they can add their want list to it. Once the borrower and contractor and HUD consultant have met at the property, the repairs are decided, the materials have been selected, then the plans for the property and the bids are prepared. So this will be your opportunity to do the final calculation of the loan amount. And this would be your opportunity to fill out those forms, make sure that you have the contractor requirements. And then we will, now that we know any final numbers, if we need to redisclose for any valid COC, that's the time that we'll do it. Now we are ready to order the appraisal. Because the appraisal is based on the after improved value of the property, that appraiser needs to know what work is going to be done. So we need to upload the bid and the HUD consultants work right up with your appraisal order. And don't worry, we have appraisal ordering instructions, and then we will wait for that to come back. The loan will divide into two separate sections. Our team of renovation underwriters, these do not go to every single underwriter. They go to a designated team of underwriters that are familiar with renovation loans. And then it will also go to my team. the project review team. And my team will help you with every single step of those big three. They'll look through the forms, we'll review the appraisal, we will look through your bid, we will talk to the HUD consultant, we will make sure that you have absolutely everything that you need for the project portion of your loan while it is going through underwriting. So you're not waiting for one or the other. Once that is complete, we sign off on it and it goes over to our closing department. You get paid, yay, your borrowers get their home, and then that repair escrow is set up. Then our draw management team will call, welcome them to the process. The contractor begins work. They will get through the construction. Then the final draw, final inspection will be completed. We do a final closeout 1004D, and that is the completed project. So let's talk about us as a renovation partner. All of our account executives have been trained and are very well versed in our renovation process. We have designated renovation CSRs. We have dedicated renovation underwriting team. There is my team that is dedicated to full-time jobs. They do absolutely nothing but renovation lending. And then we also have our dedicated renovation draw management team. Annette, we need to update this. We have a new year. So we are now at 16 years of experience in renovation lending. This is my team, and like Annette mentioned earlier, I have been with Plaza over 18 years, and no bad vibes to any of my past team members, but I can honestly say I have the best team I have ever had. These people are all extremely experienced in renovation. Jim and I both have over 25 years. Jim is my assistant vice president. He can help with scenarios. He can help with you doing presentations to your clients. He will help you with disclosures, and he will help you with figuring out what kind of products. He is my upfront guy and helps manage the process flow. Both Katie and Danielle are my fully dedicated project reviewers. They are going to be the members that hold your hand. They will call out conditions. They'll hammer out the brass tacks of your loan and help you reach the final goal. Both Katie and Danielle have over 10 years of experience with renovation lending, and they are extremely good at their jobs. If you ever can't get a hold of Jim, call Katie. Katie's done presentations. Katie is also been a licensed real estate originator, so she is very well versed on all aspects of lending. Now, Garrett, you're looking at my Mr. Fix-It. Garrett can do anything. He can do Jim's job, he can do Katie's and Danielle's, he can do project reviews, but he frequently steps in. You know, he does reference checks, background checks, and if anything is going sideways on a loan, either upfront or after closing, I put Garrett on it and Garrett gets it fixed. And customers love Garrett, and he is a valuable resource for us. He's worked on upfront with originators, and he's also been part of our servicing team. So he understands all aspects of renovation lending, and he's been with me quite some time. As we mentioned earlier, we do have our experienced draw management team that will be helping your customers through the construction portion. And let's talk about some frequently asked questions that come up with renovation lending. How long do renovation loans take? Nationally, they do take, and this is not just us, this is all lenders, 45 to 60 days. But here at Plaza, we've closed them as fast as 21 days. As long as we get all the information back, they can close as fast as any other loan. There's nothing specifically delaying them. What if I don't know what to do? I have a scenario or I need help with a presentation. of course, we can help. Reach out to your contact executive, your account executive, and they can help. If they need additional help, they can always reach out to our team as well. Are renovation loans available for investment properties or even building an ADU or even a second home? Yes, they are available for all of those products. Second homes and investment properties, they have to be single family residence only. We can build a freestanding or attached, some people don't know what ADU stands for, accessory dwelling unit, a tiny home. In the front yard, side yard, backyard. My friends just built one in their front yard, and they are renting it out, and it is paying their entire mortgage payment. So mom and dad need to move in, kids aren't quite ready to move out. Maybe you need a designated office space. We have an entire separate presentation on ADUs, but these are absolutely a booming market and definitely something, if you don't know about, it would be a great opportunity to educate yourself about. What if the property is a cash only listing? Trust me, there's no originators going over cash only listings. You can with a renovation loan. If you have a loan that is a cash only or doesn't meet MPRs, those are things that we can tackle with renovation loans. And I mentioned this earlier, but everyone wants to know when they get paid. And as I mentioned earlier, you do get paid right at closing. You do not have to wait until after construction is complete. Is there a maximum renovation loan amount? There is no set minimum, or I'm sorry, there's no set maximum for our conventional 203K USD or VA. We just have a cap to whatever the maximum loan amount is for, conventional lending practices, HUD lending practices. We can only go up to that amount. We do not have a jumbo product for renovation lending. And we do have a few products, the limited versions, that are capped at either 50,000 or 75,000. When can work begin? We need to always wait to start work. We've seen it where people have started in advance, and we do not want to do that. We want to wait until the loan closes, and then the work must start within 30 days. The borrower should contact the contractor immediately once the loan is closed, and the contractor should not, like I said, not begin work without notification from the borrower that the loan is actually closed. All work must be completed. We just eased up on this. Some products are still 6 months, but we do have products that go out to 12. When should building permits be requested? Right up front, immediately, as soon as possible. We do ask for them prior to closing on refinances, and on purchases, we need them immediately. What happens after closing? Do I need to be involved? No, you can wash your hands. Our experienced draw management team will kick in. Your job is done, and they will take care of your clients. What if they have questions? Once again, our draw management team will step in, be available, via phone or email for questions. Can we make changes during the construction? This is a good one. Any and all changes to the projects must be approved prior to the change. It's very important that your borrowers stay in touch with our draw management team. A change order is required, and we have to follow the original scope of work. If they want to do additional work, that might be possible, but we cannot change the original scope. We cannot do anything that could potentially impact that after improved value. We're going to talk about some of the resources that we've built. So, you guys, this is a great opportunity if you're looking for business. I was an account executive when I started with Plaza 100 years ago. And when we first got a renovation product, we had the limited 203K, and that was it. And I picked that product up and I ran with it. I got myself to what we call here Select Circle at Plaza, and then my career as a renovation specialist grew from there. But what I really love about this is that you can get super creative at building business for yourself. Go through RMLS and look at those, what I call dirty dog listings, the cash onlys, the ones that need remodel, the one that has been sitting on the market. You now have an opportunity to reach out to that listing agent and help them sell that product. Stand out as a specialty originator in your office. There's people that don't know, they don't want to spend the time or effort on renovation lending. Get them to send you the loan. You can become the resident renovation lending expert in your office. Set up a display in a home remodeling store. Host a first-time home buyer class. Set up a display in an outdoor, living pool area, because we can put pools in. We had an originator years ago that was doing nothing but pools with our HomeStyle product. He was going around to different pool stores and he was closing like 20 loans a month putting pools in. We have a specialty pool program. Create your own presentation for your real estate partners. It still shocks me to this day how many real estate agents don't know about renovation products, or they think they know, but they don't really know because they only think that they're for HUD REOs and they're a mess, and they're not. Partner with some contractors. They may potentially find jobs for you. Someone thinks they need a $5,000 job. They really need a $60,000 job, and they hand them your card. On those tough listings, put together a bid and a color board and sit at the open houses. Develop a one sheet with, the payments. Buy this house, put this work in. This is what your payment's going to be. This is what your potential after improved value be. And here's what the equity will be. It's shocking how many borrowers can't visualize how much potential there is for them to gain equity. Become a deal saver. I cannot tell you how many times people fall into renovation lending. I call it save a loan. The loan comes back. It doesn't meet NPR. The roof is bad. The siding's bad. And you think that's a dead deal. It is not. You can flip it over to a renovation loan and still close that loan. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. I personally became certified in Oregon and Washington to teach a continuing education course for real estate agents. And that's really how I built my business. Every time I called a real estate office, I partnered with title company. They never told me no to a free class hour. And title companies would bring in breakfast. And it was my way to expand my network, my way to grow partnerships with my originators. And it really gave me a leg up in expanding my career. Mortgages aren't one size fits all. This is our website. This is how you would log in. This is where you would go. There is an entire separate web page on here for renovation. So you would click on resources, scroll down to renovation, and then it is a one click for each one of our products. Each one of our products has its own unique one pack, checklist, fees, and as you can see here, they are all listed out. Each one of the forms are also posted separately, but you can click on that one pack. If you want to educate yourself more, our guidelines are right there for each one of our products, and they are not a put you to sleep read. They are only like 15, 20 pages. They're very straightforward, but they will help give you some more knowledge as far as what you can and can't do. The fee matrix, there's training, marketing materials, all available to you right there. We also have what we call white label or non-branded marketing materials, which are free for you to use. There's emails, there's postcards, there's flyers. You put your name, your logo, your info in there. It does not say Plaza Home Mortgage anywhere. So you can use those for customizable marketing materials. We also have a host of trainings. We offer live training every month. They're always recorded and they're always updated. So you can go in here and use our library of training. And there is one training for every single product we offer. There's a training on ADUs. There's a training on how to market. We offer the 203H if you're in a disaster area. That's a very interesting one. So this is a great opportunity for you to take some time to educate yourself further on the renovation, or maybe you're going to focus on a certain product. And then there's always a calendar as to what the next month's training is going to be as well.
We missed your question or you didn't get a question answered, definitely reach out to your Plaza account executive. They can help with any questions that you have. And that is it. So thanks so much, Reagan. Thanks everybody for attending. We look forward to doing business with you and seeing you on another webinar.